Man, this place is fancy. Look at this. They even draw little hearts in the foam. Meanwhile, my bank account feels like it's got zero love for me.
Jamie, you're always complaining about your bank account. What now? Another latte-induced crisis?
Hey, I deserve this latte. But seriously, have you seen these prices? $5 for a coffee. And don't even get me started on the pastries. Inflation's like a stealthy little thief.
You're not wrong. Inflation is a thief. But let me guess. Your solution is to just not spend anything, right?
Exactly. Hoard all my money under my mattress. Problem solved.
Okay, but here's the thing. Money under your mattress, or even in a basic savings account, is losing value every single day.
Wait, what? Losing value? How? It's just sitting there, safe and sound.
Sure, it's safe, but it's not growing. See, inflation makes everything more expensive over time. So if your money isn't earning more than inflation, you're basically going backwards.
Backwards? That doesn't even make sense. My money's still there. It's not shrinking.
Think of it this way. Let's say your coffee here costs $5 today. Next year, maybe it costs $6. But your savings? They're still earning that teeny tiny 2% interest. So now you're short $1 just to buy the same coffee.
Wait, you're telling me my latte habit is actually cheaper today than it'll be tomorrow? So I should just buy more coffee right now?
No, Jamie, that's not the point. The point is, saving alone won't keep up with inflation. You need to grow your money, and that's where investing comes in.
Investing? Okay. Now you've officially wandered into territory I don't understand. Isn't that like super risky? And I don't know, only for rich people.
Not at all. Investing is how regular people build wealth and beat inflation. Think of it as planting seeds. Sure, it takes a little effort at first, but over time, those seeds grow into trees, and those trees bear fruit.
Great analogy, Farmer Alex, but how do I even start planting these so-called money seeds? You're saying it's that easy?
It can be, but first, let's start with the basics. You can't plant seeds if you don't know what they are. So, ever heard of the stock market?
All right, Professor Harper, you've convinced me not to stash my cash under my mattress. But what's this magic you're talking about? Investing? I mean, how does it even work? Is this the part where I buy Bitcoin or something?
No. We're starting with the basics. Forget Bitcoin for now. Let's talk about the stock market. Do you even know what that is?
Yeah, it's where people go to buy stuff. Like stocks, right?
Close enough. Think of it like this cafe's menu. You've got all these options, lattes, cappuccinos, flat whites. But instead of drinks, the stock market is a menu of companies you can buy into. Each stock is like owning a tiny piece of a company.
Wait, so if I buy a stock, I own part of a company? Like, I get to tell them what to do?
Not exactly. It's not like you get to call up Apple and say, "Hey, Tim Cook, change the iPhone color to pink." But you do own a small share of their profits and growth. If Apple makes more money, your share becomes more valuable.
Okay, but why would a company even let me buy a piece of them? What's in it for them?
Good question. Companies sell stocks to raise money. It's like this cafe. Imagine they want to open a second location, but they need more cash. Instead of taking out a loan, they sell little pieces of their business to people like you.
So, I'm basically their sugar daddy?
Not quite. It's more like a partnership. You give them money up front, and if they do, well, you get rewarded. But if they fail, you share the loss.
Ah, so it's basically like my last relationship. I invested everything and they failed.
Not quite the same, Jamie, but I'll give you points for creativity. Anyway, the stock market is just the place where all these transactions happen. It's like a big farmer's market. But instead of vegetables, you're buying company shares.
Farmer's market, huh? So where's my free sample? Do I at least get a coupon for buying stocks?
Sadly, no free samples here. But if you pick the right stocks, the rewards can be even sweeter.
Okay, so you've sold me on this whole stock market idea. Kind of, but what about the risks? Like, isn't this just gambling in a fancy suit?
Gambling? No. But it's a good question. There is risk, Jamie. But here's the deal. Higher risk usually comes with higher reward. It's all about balance.
Balance, huh? Like when I try to drink 2 lattes back to back without shaking like a leaf?
Exactly. Think of the stock market like this. You can play it safe and stick to investments with low risk but lower rewards, or you can take on more risk for the chance of bigger returns. The key is knowing your limits.
All right, so let's say I go for one of these high risk, high reward deals. What's the worst that could happen?
The worst? You could lose some or all of the money you invested in a specific stock. That's why you never put all your eggs in one basket. Diversifying helps you spread the risk, but
All my money. Oh no, Alex, I don't even have much to begin with. So you're saying I'd better be careful, right?
exactly. It's not about being reckless, it's about making smart choices. Think of it like this. Would you rather bet everything on one lottery ticket or spread your chances across multiple options?
So are we talking about real tickets here or metaphorical ones? Because I love scratch-offs.
Stick to the metaphor, Jamie. The stock market gives you the chance to build wealth steadily, but you have to accept that risk is part of the game. If you're too scared to take any risk, you'll never get anywhere.
So you're telling me I need to embrace the fear? Sounds like I'm signing up for a roller coaster I didn't even want to ride.
Not quite. It's more like riding a bike. At first, you're wobbly, but with practice and the right tools, you find your balance. And once you've got that, the ride gets smoother.
All right, I guess I can try this bike thing. But if I crash, you're paying for the bandages.
Deal. And I'll even throw in a helmet.
All right, Alex. I'm starting to think this investing thing might not be as scary as it sounds. But I've heard some pretty wild stories about the stock market. Like, isn't it just for rich people?
Ah, the only for the rich, Mythe. Let me tell you something. These days, anyone can invest. With apps and platforms, you can start with as little as $5. That's less than what you just spent on that croissant.
Hey, this is an investment in my happiness. But really, $5? What am I buying? Half a share of some obscure company.
Actually, yes. Many platforms let you buy fractional shares. It's like buying just a slice of a company instead of the whole pie.
Great, I'll own 1/10 of a slice of apple pie. Sounds delicious.
Not quite the pie you're thinking of, Jamie. But the point is, investing is accessible now. No private clubs, no gatekeeping. It's for everyone.
Okay, but what about those crazy stories? Like the stock market crashing and people losing everything? That sounds terrifying.
It can happen. Markets go up and down. That's normal. But here's the thing. If you're investing smartly and diversifying, those dips are just bumps in the road. It's only a loss if you sell during a crash.
So you're saying, whoa, just hang in there when things get rough?
Exactly. Investing is a long-term game. Think of it like planting a garden. Storms might knock a few leaves off, but the tree will grow stronger if you give it time.
Okay, last one. What about all those get-rich-quick schemes I see online? You know, people promising to turn $100 into $1 million overnight.
Avoid those like the plague, Jamie. Real investing takes patience. Anyone promising you overnight success is selling you a pipe dream. Or worse, a scam.
Patience, huh? That's gonna be tough. You know how I get when my coffee order takes too long.
Then investing will be good for you. It teaches patience. And trust me, it's worth it. You'll thank me later.